news, everybody. Not only I'm going to talk about jails and whatnot, but special announcement right now for World's Finest Shows. Special announcement for World's Finest Shows. They're trying something new. Yes, if you're interested in going in the Norfolk County area, they have a pop-up fair. Yes, a pop-up. As they're getting ready for the season. So if you're watching me live right now, get online, follow me, share, like, doesn't matter. Let's get it happening, guys. I like to say, way to go, World's Finest Shows. If you have a card, a reloadable card from World's Finest Shows, that's right, the reloadable. Don't throw them out. Because if you do throw them out, they're, they're good forever. You gotta understand. Those cards are worth money. You just go in, reload, and that's all you gotta do. So right now, they're just going through a TSA inspection. What all carnivals do every spring, every year, before they can open to the general public. But they're opening like it's the very first spot, but it's free to enter at where you normally go to the Norfolk County Fair at the fairground in Simcoe, Ontario. If you know where that is, stop on by, ride the ride, do what you want to do. It's a pop up carnival. I like to hear good comments, share all your posts, videos, all what you can. It's free admission and free parking. So instead of going at the end of the year, right, you're starting the year off right? They pull them out of the barn, they set them up in the fairground, and they're opening the 29th, the 30th. So today, so the 29th all the way to Sunday. So if you want to go ride the ride, yes, the wristbands will be available. It says rides are set up and going through their annual TSA inspection at Norfolk County Fairgrounds. Once completed, we will open the ride to the public. Wristband will be available each day for $25 per person per day. Ride credits will also be available. Understand that. Also available for purchase. If you made it to the Norfolk County Fair this past Thanksgiving and purchased ride credit and still have your card, you can use it. Here it is reloadable and shareable. So yes, you can give it to your friend. You got a friend, you're too busy and you want to go to like a fair that may be small, okay? It's not like the big Norfolk County Fair, but you still get to enjoy the ride. And it's the better part is it's the beginning of the year, so it's amazing. So how about we step up, go to the fair, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and it's pop up there. It's the beginning of the year. All the fairs are coming out now, guys. All the shows are popping up. And yes, they all looking for help, guys. They all are looking for workers to travel, set up, tear down. They got living quarters. So understand that they are doing the best they can. That they're working on is they need to go and do what we have to do. They are, like I said, they're looking for work. Also, I want to touch base on the jails in Canada and the police force. We know there's a lot of backlash for this. Yes, there is. There's always going to be a corrupt cop. Always. I see another cop. Toronto. Charged again with drugs, possession, smuggling stuff into the jail. That is wrong. You took an oath. You're not only breaking the law, you're providing them with stuff that everybody needs to be held accountable. That's just got to stop in this country now. Criminals getting away with a lot of shit. It's unbelievable how much drugs and shit going into these jails. A lot of them now we're finding out that it's the police are bringing it in. What's wrong? It's just unbelievable. What's going on? We're finding out looks like I think they're the ones that post everything. Anyway, it's just unbelievable what's happening with the guys. You know, my restream should be live on Facebook right now. Oh, Ken Fielder. Yeah, we're trying to show Central Fair. Yeah. Bring memories. That's right, Brandy. I like to say one good thing, guys, is the carnivals are here for a good time. They're here for a good time, not a long time, guys. So you do realize that things are going to change. It's going to happen. So we gotta keep these people accountable for their actions. So yes, the public's got to step up and do what we got to do. They're out there. They cause harm, and that's what nobody understands. There's a lot of issues. Now I got another update. Talk about update. Okay, hit that one. So when there's a protest, you need to get out there and do what you got to do. We need to get everybody accountable for their actions. You know, this shit has to stop. Like it's utterly ridiculous what's going on out there in the world. Just how can people do what they got to do? I don't understand why that we have to go with this route. Why does everybody have to protest? Why do we got to take action? We all know the government's all corrupt no matter what way it goes. Jails. That's the biggest thing in this country. The problem is there's too many people in the jail. The conditions are horrible. The government don't care about people. They care about the money. But we're costing the taxpayers a pile of money to house a lot of people. Gotta realize there's murderers, there's people that have done petty crimes. Okay? There's no need for shit like that. That's what the convoy did. Was stupid, did their actions, and that's the problem with that. Say we have backlash, settle back, and the other stuff. But like I was saying, jails are so full. They cannot send any more to jail because there's not enough beds. Some are holding 5 to 7 people with 2 beds, sometimes one. Like, that's undeplorable conditions that they're in. But the problem is, they're the ones that are putting themselves in. The government doesn't tell people, okay, okay, go commit crime, so you can go to jail. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. This shit has to fucking stop. Young kids, 10, 11, 12 years old, doing murders, stabbing, killing people, robbing people, stealing cars. Did the government tell your 10-year-old to go steal a car here in Canada? I don't like it. But now you wonder why your kid's in jail. The parents not caring? I guarantee they don't. And this is unbelievable how these parents know what they're doing. They just don't care. They just don't care. Things have to change in this country. And it all starts with the parents. And that's what we gotta realize. You think, oh, at least I'm knocking on your door at 3 a.m. because we just arrested your son or daughter or whoever going around stealing cars, flattening tires, doing whatever the hell they want at 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning. Why? Do you not discipline your kids? Do you not take care of your kids? Kids are getting out of control. People all complain about security cameras. That's the safety people. It helps the police get the culprit in the action. Right? It's security. It's a camera. You realize that helps in insurance value as well? Like, people don't realize cameras are, people say that um, against the privacy. Sure, yes, in one way, but in one way, it's safety. That's what we got to look at. Safety is important in this country, but that's the problem. They're taking a lot of these rules. You can't have a face in the road. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's a lot of things people don't understand. And we need to get back to reality in this country. Literally, get back to reality in this country. And I'm telling you, this world is gonna, with all these jails, oh, here we are. It's go time. MDR, that's a, go time. Yeah, I'm sharing Parker's, Parker James, the other part owner of the show, with his dad and mom and the rest of the family. Uh, check it out, guys. Check it out. Parker Gamers and shared post. Good job, Parker. Yes, young kid. He's very young. Just finished school, but he's been owning the equipment for years, guys. It's not right. He owned rides since he was young, young. The fish owner who's arrived for years. So when you see little person running around, like a Jameson, the Patrick, Stacy, the Robbie, Cassable. Yes, if you didn't know, Robbie Cassable is originally from Brockville. Yes, from Brockville, Ontario. His family's from around here. So yes, you all know, and you're a Brockville resident, you all know Robbie Cassable. He's been on World's Finest Shows for a lot of years. Yeah, a lot of years. And yes, Daryl Granger is bringing up a lot of things. I know I got a list of these jails. All right, a lot of jails are full in Canada. This is why. They're implementing new stuff for jails. That's what's building new jails. You've got to realize. And all you got to do is complain. Oh, build jails, build jails. Well, we need, yes, we need to get those criminals off the street. But that's why they're not putting them anywhere because there's no room. Not because they don't want to put them there, because there's no room in the jail. That's why they're putting them back on the street because they got no room. That's why they're trying to implement more jails. But nobody wants nothing. That's like the auto train, Via Rail Canada. Nobody wants the train. I can see the train service for Canada disappearing. Well, it is good. Every time people say no, you're not going to have a train service to go ride the rails. It's an experience. That's why I'm thinking about taking a one and only train ride across Canada and back. I don't care if that's $2,000. Just to go across Canada and back, I don't care. Okay? I don't give a rat's ass. Just get on, have fun, enjoy the trip. Because I don't have to drive all the way out there, right? Sure, you can do it in the car quicker. You got more stops, you got to pay for gas, you got maintenance on your vehicle, you got a whole lot of shit to contend with. Train, who cares? Let the train go. But they also want to take the auto train. They want to have a free train for the bigger cities. They're taking via rail. They're going to have connections to another auto train where it does stop at other places. They're having certain trains that go direct connections to the city. So jails need to be built. Via rail needs to build their tracks. And we need to get people held accountable, guys. We need to. If nobody's held accountable for all the actions of what's going on, okay, then it's gonna hurt the economy. They've always they've always operated at a loss. Is it possible that it could become profitable for the government? Yes, it can, and yes, it can't. Because the fact a lot of things are happening. One, they got to pay for they got to lease those rails to operate, guys. See, owning their own, they don't have to pay that lease. So I've taken a big chunk of that money, putting it back in the government pocket. It's about moving people, guys. It's not about sustainable profit. The tickets are so low that they try to keep it low so people can afford to travel. And that's why the rail does it. But also, you know, it, it's about helping people get around. And if nobody wants to help the things that's moving, you're going to lose everything else. Every single thing that's out there. And I'm telling you, people say no to everything. came across my live yet, but yeah, I'm up on that one, but it's alright. But anyway, what jails in the country? I gotta say, there's too much shit in jail. Okay, way too much. Fire north of Brockville. Multiple structures on Nash Road. See more. Yeah, I already heard that 3 hours ago. They're a little late on posting that. Or is that another Nash side road? So, let's see here. So, posted by the radio station 3 hours ago. Does that mean there's still another fire on Nash Road? And like, what is going on with all these fires in Ontario this year? Like, major. Like, what is going on? Like, all the water fires, Brockville, Narrow in country, and Nash Road. Like, the problem with the fires out in country, they have to bring in water. Okay. And my idea for that, for this fire department, is they need a big tanker truck. Okay. They need a big tanker truck that okay that they put the container in, you have a pump, pump it out of the pool into the tank. Okay. So as you got small pumpers going, you know, those pools are too small. You know, the fire departments are using gallons and gallons and gallons of water per minute. And, and that's why they need, okay, the truck running that pool like crazy. So now, when that's empty, guess what? You have no more running water, no more water to put on that fire. It's a major fire. They run out of water. I expect. That's one downfall to rural fires. I think we need to get major water trucks. I think they need to have a tractor trailer fire, a couple of water tankers. Okay, where they line them up. Okay, think about it. You hook the hose up. Okay, bottom of the tank. Okay, water tank, but it should have a hose connected to the bottom. Okay, now you're sucking the water up into the truck, right? Boom, right? Think about it. We need to have big tanker trucks for rural fire. That counts as a bus trip, okay? Now you got that 45 footer, even a 45, 50 foot truck, 53 footer. Guess what? Now the truck's full of water, right? You connect the fire truck to there. You're pulling the water from there. So now you're running water into both, okay? You put you put two of those side by side. Guess what? See what they need to do. They're pulling up the side of the road. Guess what? You can run hoses over the fire truck. It's pulling the water out of those trucks, out of the pool. Now you got 43 foot tankers full of water. But they got to make multiple trips, and that takes time. Now you got to take time to load the truck. Okay, now you're taking 5, 10, 15 minutes to fill that water truck, and that's the problem. Nobody sees that. That takes a lot of time. So now that one truck is, you know, loading up. It's 10, 15 minutes. It takes you 5, 10 minutes to get there. By the time you drive back, that's another 10, depending on where the fire is. It could be 10, 15 minute drive. So now there's valuable time right there that you're losing for those fires. That's the biggest factor in these rural fires. The time is in essence. I think it's time for the fire fire companies to have 53-foot trailer full of water. Okay. Start with one tanker. Okay, you hook up the hose to the truck. You open the valve, right? Open the valve. Let it go, right? Now you're filling that truck up. Okay? As you're pumping it. The phone has updated. Okay. And that's the problem. Nobody realizes. Those fires are really, really bad. When they're going to brush fires, you know how much water they need to burn that bush? A lot of water, guys. But now, when they're calling 10, 5 or 6 tankers, that's, that's the biggest problem here, guys. You do realize the biggest factor in all these fires and destroying homes and land and your property is tremendous. The fire on National Road. Now, how many times they got to go fill up for water? Okay? You got to look at that factor. Nobody ever does. Child died after fall from downtown apartment window. The child died after fall from a window of a Laurier Avenue East apartment building. What the? That's fucking ridiculous, man. That's huge. Despite violent efforts from first responders to hospital staff, the child was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Police spoken on Tuesday. The child was younger than 8 years old. Then spoken. Our hearts are with the child's family and loved ones during this time. Unimaginable. Are those all affected? Spokesperson said. Paramedics received the call at 6:50 p.m. 27th. The child outside with injuries. So can't fall from a height. Medics took the child to the hospital with an injury. Although police vehicles were at 50 Laurier Avenue Monday evening. And part of the ground outside of the building will take off. Like, this is, you know, kids take off, they run. It's just unreal, unbelievable. Like, accidents do happen, but a child, you know, falling from a building window, a high window, like, that should never be happening, you know? It should be that it just has to be safety. How do you put safety on those windows? You can't. Due to fires and stuff, you cannot legally put bars on those windows. Why? Because if there's a fire, you cannot get out. That's an escape route, guys. If your house is on fire, you wanted a real emergency. If you're in an apartment building, you cannot lock those windows. That's part of the new fire code. Like I say, there's a lot of things going on in the jail that are horrible. Like we got to get together here, guys. One of the moment down to Walmart Park yet. We went to A.W. quiet, kid-free breakfast and accidentally found our favorite human again, Stacy. Probably Stacy from Burger King or Wendy's. Never had the pleasure of serving Stacy formerly. Yeah, yeah, like I just said, formerly of Wendy's brothel. You already know. This woman is basically a combination of sunshine, caffeine, and mind reading abilities. Back when she worked at Wendy's, Stacy was a staple of our Saturday routine. She didn't just take our orders, she knew our orders. She greeted us by our name. She knew our son and always went out of her way to make him feel comfortable and special. Surprising him with a little treat that was actually made his day. For a family navigating autism and ARFID, kid, kind and kindness isn't just appreciated and unforgettable. So when we suddenly disappeared from Wednesday, Saturday lunches, just went to the same honestly, the cheesy fries, tasted a little less. Neither was it coincidence. We think not. Fast forward to Sunday morning when my husband made a romantic gesture for taking me out for breakfast before our weekly grocery trip. I tell her, that's a wonderful idea to me. How life has changed. Instead of flowers and candles, I can now respond with onions. We walked into A&W, approached the counter, and bam, there she is, Stacy, smiling like she hadn't just single-handedly improved our entire morning. Not only did she recognize us instantly, but her first question was, "Where's your son?" But let's be honest, it's actually the kind of VIP treatment every family hopes for but rarely gets. A&W, whatever you're paying her is not enough. Stacey is an absolute gem. She's upbeat, thoughtful, and somehow functioning at a peak friendliness level at 7 a.m. on weekends, which is frankly, I'm a bit jealous. I need this energy in my life. If customer service were an Olympic sport, Stacey would have gold medal, sponsorship, and deal and her own cereal brand by now. We came for breakfast. We stayed for Stacy. Thanks again, Stacy. See you Sunday morning. Well, yes, Stacy is a very nice person. I went to school with Stacy many years ago. A lot of people don't realize. It's crazy. But people have to change jobs, change career. Didn't change their career, just change the restaurant. There's there's reasons behind that. And then you know she was like a manager, okay, or whatever, assistant, whatever she was at Wendy's. Yeah, I believe because Wendy's never opened till the general later, and now they open earlier. But now she just changes places, which is great. I'm glad to see people understand her, love her, give her the gratitude, guys. She's a wonderful person. As I just read a post with somebody, you know, Stacy, it's amazing, guys. Let's give her gratitude. Share this post, like the post that I just shared. It's amazing, guys. Okay, amazing what people can do. in a community. That's gratitude for your job, dedication to your job. And that's how you do a good job. That part goes a long way. A lot of people today, I know it's off topic of jail, but anyway, the other stuff, I'm telling you, the off topic stuff right now, you know, there's a lot of hatred out there and bullshit out there. You've got to stop and think about elections. You know, hatred is ridiculous out there. You know why we're getting all these rules online about hatred and all the shit that's coming out? Oh, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do this, all online. Because of everybody with the hatred and backlash. You know, people don't want, people out there, it's just crazy. That's like people have hatred of the auto train and be a real Canada operating in this country. You only got 30% left, guys. 30% because CN wants their track. Like people always say, oh, they don't want the auto train. Well, listen up, people. VRL is a people mover. They haul thousands of people around this country. Thousands. You don't understand that. You gotta understand. Thousands of people ride the train daily, and they cannot get the train service up and profitable if they're running on tracks they gotta pay for. It is feasible on their own to a certain extent. But if you don't want nothing happening, then you're not gonna have any trains go jump across Canada with. I'm telling you right now, 100%. 100%. You know, then you're gonna complain. Oh, I can't take a train anywhere. Why? The government took our train. No, the government didn't take the flipping train. It was your action that said no. And that's what CN's telling you. You go to those concessions and meetings and stuff about the auto, follow it. I'm telling you, that shit's got to change. And you got to have self attitude of saying no to everything. Sure, it costs money now. It would have cost a lot less 45 years ago. They planned the auto train in 1977, guys. That's when it was first introduced to Canada. 1978 or 77. It took over fully in 1978 and fully operational from CN. The CN ran the passenger service for years. Now that the rails are so old, they can't upgrade it to passenger train service. They can only run at 167 kilometers an hour. Doesn't matter, guys. Everybody's got to realize we need to step up and do what we got to do. Get this auto train running so the rail can move their operations into their own rails. If it does not happen, you're going to lose everything in this country. Everything to move people. People want buses. Yes, buses does are great too. You know, Greyhound is a good bus service. But how many end up on the Greyhound at the end? Some buses only had 5 or 10 people on a 45 passenger bus across Canada. Passengers decline over time on buses because they stop at a certain spot. You know, all the maintenance on those buses. The bus drivers got to drive for hours and hours and hours to get to somebody. They can't just stop and have a seat. There's no way. People got to understand what's going on in this country. We're slowly losing everything. When you lose, like I said, if you lose the rail, you're losing a big part of history in this country. No passenger rail service has been around for a lot of years, guys. A lot of years. Think about how many years. You better do research. Okay? I'm gonna do a big question. Okay? And it's gonna be history in the making, guys. Seriously. I know I gotta update my bill or whatever. Alright. Today, breaking crypto market. Why does oil prices surge again? So that means the market, if oil prices are going up, that means crypto's going up. So, anyway, how is the deal? What is the, when was passenger train service introduced into Canada by CN? 1 minute left. Then I mean, my chat's ending here, so I gotta start over. I'm gonna go, I can't use voice because it's all, I run out. So, I gotta wait for the little squiggly line dots to go and start to move here, but give it a moment. The computer's a little slow. I'll give it time. When was CN first introduced passenger train service here in Canada? We're just wondering what year it started so we can get the facts out to everybody out there. Okay? We got a computer's a little slow. Well, give me a moment here, guys. Just gonna quiet for a few minutes. With my computer, because I'm using my phone for my Restream. Passenger rail service in Canada. Passenger rail service. That's an update for everybody out there, guys. And everybody who didn't know, this is history, guys. Passenger rail service in Canada actually predates Canadian National Railway, CN. But CN itself started running passenger trains shortly after it was formed. Here's the clear timeline. You see, before CN, uh, early passenger rail service in Canada. Passenger trains in Canada go back early to back to 1830, 1850, ran by early private railways like Chaplin and the St. Lawrence Railroad opened in 1836. Grand Trunk Railway, when CN passenger service Canadian National Railway was created in 1919 by Canadian government merging several struggling railways. As soon as CN was formed, it inherited and continued passenger train service from those existing lines. So effectively, CN passenger service began in 1919. What happened later? Okay, what happened later? The CN ran passenger trains for decades, including famous routes like the Super Continental. In 1978, most of CN's passenger operations were transferred to Via Rail, a crown corporation that still runs passenger trains today. Simple answer, CN first operated passenger trains in 1919 when it was created. So that's a little history. So basically, we're looking back. The passenger rail service in Canada started in 1830 to 1850, ran by private rail like Chaplin and St. Lawrence Railroad, opened in 1836. Okay, so in 1836, that gives you a timeline back in the day. Okay, think about it. They had to build those rails back in those days. That's when they didn't have all the technology that we have today. Today, the work will get done a little faster, as you see. And an incident, different rails, stop in, boom. You know how quick we can build railroads today? Heck, in less than 2 weeks, they had rails fixed in Prescott from a derailment. Think about that, guy. So 1836, when Chaplin and St. Lawrence Railroad opened first passenger train. So but that's telling you a lot of history right there, guys. A lot of history. Like it's just amazing. Then we do history on jails. Okay, give it a minute. I gotta load here. I gotta use voice here. I can't use So, with jails right now in Canada overwhelmed with people, what year did the first jail was ever built for criminals to go into, and who built it, and where was it located? And with today's world, how many criminals are in prison today in all these jails, and how many are in each jail cell in this country and around the world, or even just in Canada alone, all the criminals. Oh, computer slow. My computer's really slow. I don't have a fast computer. I gotta get a bigger one soon. But, well, let's check this out, guys. You know, the big question for so they're gonna show me everything here. Give me a minute here. I'm just waiting for it to show up here. That's the big question. So I'll break it into clear pieces for you. Got a lot to dictate here, so give it a moment. Well, everybody want to follow me on YouTube. like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can. I'll also bring you up on the live stream as well. If you want to talk about anything, we'll talk about anything, guys. Doesn't matter. If you want to talk about the alto thing, be it real, anything that's going on in this country. Oh, I didn't go through. I know. About what's going on with the jails in Canada and how many people are in jails in Canada, and when was the first jail built in Canada and where? Where? Oh my God! It's sticking on my TV. I know nothing about fucking bullshit. Try this again. Anyway, like I said, I'm trying to figure out more about what's going on here. When was the first jail built in Canada? Where was the location? And how many people did it house at one time? So what year was the first jail built in Canada? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Click the arrow and it doesn't check mark and it doesn't stop. Like it's just that's how slow my computer is, guys. Okay, I can't wait to get my passport money coming in because it's going to give me more benefits. They're going to have more processing fees. I just can't have too much. The idea of the first jail in Canada is inside just one single building because it's different in early settlements, but they are their own lockup. But historians generally point to the one of the earliest purpose jails in what is now Canada. Okay? Okay, here's the history, guys. We're around 1712, where Quebec City, who built it, constructed under the authority of the federal colonial government of New France, administrated by officials representing the French crown. The jail was used during the French colonial period constructed by New France, administrated by officials of the French crown. The jail was used during the French colonial period and is often cited as one of the earliest formed detention facilities in Canada. So Quebec had the very first jail in Canada, 1712. Okay, a bit of context before permanent jails, early settlement years. Okay, this is the history, guys. Do your research, guys, on jails. A bit of context before permanent jails, early settlements used. Guardhouses, military force, temporary holding cells. As towns like Quebec grew, they needed dedicated buildings to hold people awaiting trial or punishment. Important note. Okay, important note. Canada as a country. Okay, Canada didn't exist until 1867. So early jails like this one were built by colonial governments, French, or later the British, not Canada, as we know it today. Simply, simple answer, earliest known jail, around 1712, Quebec City, built by the French colonial authorities. So, there's a little history buff for you people. Think about that guy. Can you imagine? You know, amazing. Amazing people. But you know, I can remember on all day, guys. 6 hours to do it. But I don't want to. And that's what we don't realize. Oh, First Lady Melania Trump is speaking live right now. Go follow Melania Trump. Bicycles pedaling on overboard scooters. Y'all need to follow the rules of the road, just like everyone else, especially when it comes to school buses. When the bus stops, red overhead, flashing doors open, you stop. That's the problem. People don't give a shit. They don't care. That's what people don't realize. Too many rules, nobody cares in this country. And I don't see anybody following me. I know I'm on Facebook. I know I am somewhere. My computer's slow, so I know it's a pain. And like I was saying at the beginning, Let's Find the Shows had a little spring fling going on. Norfolk County Fair. Yeah, right. Now everywhere in town, gas is $1.70. It's spoiled people. $1.70 is a little price for the gas, man. I remember gassing up the car was 35 cents a liter. What happened to those days? Man, what happened? Price of oil just went up, guys. 103.7. So they changed it. It used to be 103.9. Wasn't it not? Oh, no, that's 104.9. 103. That's what's dragging us on. They changed the name, new owners, new location, and I hopefully, Mr. Bruce Wyoming is having his good old retirement. What the thing is, it's a story, okay? There's arrows on the ground. It tells you which direction to go to the pump, okay? There's arrows on the ground. It tells you it's a one way to the pump. You got cars coming both ways. Like, it's stupid. People need to follow rules. That's the problem. Like, people don't follow signs. Okay? It's clearly marked on the roadway. Do the people not see it as they're coming out? marking. I think they need to post one-way signs up on the phones, not just on the ground. That's what I think they need to do with mobile gas stations. So that's what we got to look at, guys. Yeah, hell, can't see this. Yeah, I got it. That's at 150. No wonder everything's so big. Okay, we gotta close some stuff off here. Like, too much on the go here. I'm gonna take a look from the computer to catch up. Lots of stuff going on here. Hmm. All right, let's clean that up. Few extra minutes. Lineups are 2 to 3 cars long. Some should be reported for gouging. They've been gouging for years, guys. The gas stations don't set the prices. You got to realize that. Stations don't set it. The fuel companies do. They tell them. But the problem is, they change the price 10 times for the same tank. And that's what we're trying to get down to. When that fuel is delivered for that price, then that's when they should be introducing, okay, we're going to up the price for shipment. Yeah, but there should be no up in the price. If the CEOs will take less money and pay these fuel companies better, like it's just unbelievable what happened over. But anyway, I'm gonna jump out of the Restream here and let's you know take support in your community. I guess with the structure fires that have happened in Brockville, we need to understand there should be no negativity towards any person out there losing their home. Because none. You have negativity on somebody losing their home. That's devastating enough that lost everything and doesn't have nothing right now. They have insurance, but that can take up to 5 years before the claim gets finalized. Okay. Then the landlord still has to rebuild that house. Okay. In the meantime, they gotta have a place to live. So thank God they have somewhere to go. But being on ODSP, you're renting. Now that's the hardest part. ODSP only gives you so much money. Think about that. So understand what's happening with them. The rents are through the roof. People are getting homeless because of the rent prices. The people that are renting these places don't care about people's money. Wouldn't you rather have that income coming in that unit at a lower rent than trying to get somebody at $2,500 a month? Plus, you got to pay extra. Like, wake up, people. That's what the country's going to. Government is not putting the rent up. It's the landlords that are doing all the rent increases. They just set the percentage. That's all the government does. They don't control the rent. They don't control nothing. Just rent increase. Percent. That's all they do. Because the owners of the property are the number one cause of homelessness in this country. Now, when a lot of places think, oh, we got over 8,000, 40,000 people out on the streets. Well, we're putting 80 and 90-year-olds out on the street. Do you think that's acceptable in our country? 80 and 90-year-olds out on the street, living in tents? You young people. If somebody can barely get around with a walker, a mobility scooter, and he's hired to plug it in to charge it, unacceptable. And that's why we're doing our best to making the money here to build a nice place for people to live, more affordable, where you have money out of your check. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. We're working on that plan. I don't care if we have to buy a bunch of RV trailers, buy a piece of land, or make sure you have a place to stay. Doesn't matter. It's a place to stay. I don't care. That's why we want to build a special trailer with water tanks inside. Okay? Doesn't matter. You need this, so do what we gotta do. You understand? This country is getting worse before it gets better. And with a majority government, it's gonna hurt. So, and what's happening? So guys, we need to do a good plan. We all complain about the gas prices, complain about everything. The Canadian government doing what they can, but they gotta stop spending too much goddamn money. That's the problem. You can introduce a lot of things. So how about we get our debt paid off first? Get all that money paid back. Before you go and introduce more things, more things, more things. Get us back in the red. We're in green. That's the type of government we need right now. And that's what we gotta do. So I don't know if this is getting out on my Facebook or not, but I haven't found it. It hasn't popped up, but maybe it popped up on yours. I don't know. So the restream, let's share it out. If you're following me, find me on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, it's live on YouTube as well. YouTube channel. Follow me, subscribe. You'll know when I'm online. You'll go on. I don't go on all the time, but I just would like to start and get something going where we have people coming in, where people are, chatting, doing what we got to do, bringing it alive. But I gotta up my restream as well, so that way I can bring in a lot more people, chat, and all that. So I'm on the basic plan right now, so I don't have a lot of options to work with. And I'm still learning how to use the Restream program. So, it's not easy to learn a new program. But now that I know I can go live on my phone, on Facebook and YouTube, that's a bonus, guys. You know, if you haven't seen it, dang, let's kill that guy. Imagine that. Kind of, if you can see that, car's going in both directions, guys. Is that ridiculous? Ain't that wild? Now, can I go to why is that? Okay. Anyway, why did I access that? Okay, front. Alright, it's front camera. Alright. Anyway, what's up all of you guys? It's been an hour long video, but like I said, jails, that's a little bit of history buffering jails in Canada. So, you know, if you want to know more, come send me a message, and we'll definitely do what we got to do. Also, if you want to join in my club here, we're also accepting people. Even if it's $20, people. The more people we have at $20, the better it is, guys. You, if somebody gives me a larger amount, they're gonna have more money coming back at a time. But we can also make money daily, guys, and have flush though. You want money, you're broke, you're tired of having no money, I'm telling you, come join me. We will definitely, you don't have to have the account yourself. If you don't know how to do it, I have it already set up. I just take the money, deposit, and every 24 hours, we get more and more money. So the bigger the miner we have, the more money we're making per day. We're on ODSP too, so I'm only allowed $1,000 a month. Okay, extra. So we gotta watch what we do. So I can take up to $1,000. So think about how many people $1,000 can bring. If it's $5, $10, 15, 20. You know, if you want to know how much, I will let you know in an email before you send any money. I will let you know how much I'm up to be able to take money in, so that you don't have to charge it back. But we're only allowed $1,000, so I want to keep everything flowing every month at that amount. So now that $1,000 brings that up even more. Okay, now I take that 1,000, I go, I move that over, right? So I take that two of my miners. Guess what? That's over, making $10 a day plus $1. So now we're making $11 a day. Okay, then we're gonna move that other way, right? We're gonna it's gonna climb, guys. When we hit the $500 one and $100 a day one, that's where it's real money, guys. That's like $100 a day. And so then we're gonna keep building, right? We're gonna keep building it, right? Keep going, okay? We're gonna use that asset. Okay, we're not once even if it's for one time, okay? One time. So if you want to do a small deposit once, then great. Okay? Think about it. If you want to grow money, I guarantee you, we're all gonna have money. But we need to get it going faster than what I have now. I cannot get it going faster on my own. Yes, I there's no more $100. I gotta get in there quick, so we have the opportunity to go faster. Okay? Keep it growing and more and more and more. So let's make it happen, guys. Everybody, waitpcm@gmail.com. Come on out, join the group, join the fun, join the having money. Think about it. We transfer it directly to you. You know, we'll figure it out. The plan. We're working on a plan how to get things organized together. But I prefer you to have Shake Pay. Okay? Shake Pay is the easiest way for me to send it to you. So download Shake Pay app, create an account, send your ID tag, and we can send it directly to you. Now you could now you can have your own in Bitcoin, Ethereum. Easy peasy, guys. You use that for shopping every day. Imagine. I can send it instantly to you without a problem. ID tag written down, type it in, boom, done. So think about it, guys. RatePCM@gmail.com. If you want to join in the make $1,000, this is my backup fund. Okay, when I right now I'm working on Bitcoin So when I'm miner, that's when I'm working on my farm. So that's working in the background. Now that's already sitting there over $200,000. I'm waiting for that to go through the blockchain, right? It's going to take a while. But it has Fluxo. It's making me money daily. So no, that is what I'm living off of right now. Okay? Daily, guys. Okay? Once you get that money flowing, we don't have to worry about nothing, guys. Bitcoin price goes up, that money goes up. Okay? Doesn't matter. We cash it, we're going to put it in. Well, we also cash it out into our Coinbase. I got Coinbase, I got Tandem, I got StakePay, I got it everywhere, guys. Digital currency, the name of the game now, guys. Think about it. That's how you're going to make your money. You make your money off the transactions people are doing. Okay? So every transaction that's going through the blockchain right now, we're all making money. Okay? It does not matter. You'll have an M miner, you can have thousands of dollars. For the first time, it takes a long time when you got a lot built up. Okay? You gotta keep getting on the stock market. Right now, we're behind. And they just introduced a new program, software update, and I have an issue. So I don't know if I can update it with the system the way it is. But yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, send us an email if you want to join in the Hash Fluxo group and earn money daily. It doesn't take much money. If you want to throw in 20 bucks, everybody throws in 20 bucks, but there's a limit. I will let you know in the email. Send me an email first. I'll reply to it. Say, type in Hash Fluxo and join, and then I will let you know how much money I received at that time. Deposit into my TP account. Okay. If it's 20 bucks, it's 20 bucks. Okay. You want to send 30? Send 30. If you want to put in $100, okay. Even it's the lightest people at $100, guys. I know we all don't have a lot of money to play with, okay. This is the plan, okay. That's why we need a bunch of people lined up. All except a lot, but it's going to be getting more and more people on board. So once a month, I'll be taking $1,000 out of my PC account, putting it at a bank, and I move it into my safe day. Then I move it over into the house structure, pay for it. Then we're gonna have money coming out of Ying Yang. I mean money. Okay, think about it. I keep building with $5. Even the $5 ones, guys. I can make that to $100 a day. Okay, think about it. You get enough of those $5 ones, 20, 25. At five of them, it's $25 a day. Okay, $500 minus. Okay, so now, so to get 100, that's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do. Do a price figure here. Let's see what we can find here. Oh my God, my Stanley's birthday today. Hey, Stanley Madden. Happy birthday, young fella. You know, there's, why is, I know my computer's slow today. Don't know why. Some days it's really good, speedy. Today it's maybe just a lot of people are online. Could be the weather. With Starlink, you can have a little bit of delay. So, okay. Let's see if there's anything about. Mm, even aluminum boat. So buy aluminum boat. I know they're about 10, $15,000. That's okay. Ah, still the computer, man. So slow. I might have to do a quick reboot on my computer. It's a little slow. Just to refresh it. And that's what happens when you leave your computer on, right? I guess your computer gets lagging behind. So, like I said, give or take a bit of time. And like I said, if you very little money, can afford a lot, that means more people can jump in. Below dollar value, great. Throw $10 in. Everybody can throw $10 in. Everybody threw $10 in, up to $1,000. That's a lot of people that I can get in there. Okay, we're starting out small, so if we can get less people with a higher dollar amount, great. Okay, if I had two people at $500, great. $200, a little more. So it doesn't matter. We're all earning. We're all gonna every dollar that we earn gets split. Okay, it doesn't matter. It gets split between so many people. So everybody gets a certain amount. Okay, per month. Okay, we're doing it monthly for now to start. Okay, so once a month, we're just gonna let it. We're gonna let it go. Okay, okay, we gotta push ourselves. You know, it's hard to do, but if I can take, even if I do it every 15 days, okay, even 15 days, 15, 15 to 30, give you one day off, or whichever. So if I cash out every 15 days, if I can get it cash out every 15 days, that's 15 days, that goes in. Okay. Now we're gonna hold that into the other system, okay? So that means when I put in the Coinbase, okay, it's gonna grow even more, okay? Think about it. Money that we just earned, we're gonna put to reinvest. So now that money that we took out is going into another crypto. Okay, now in 15 days, just let that go. Okay, 15 days, longer. Now we've doubled. We should have doubled our money. So now what we've earned from our structure, okay, that's there. So now let's kind of bring that other back up. So now we take the first half and second half, put them together. Now we're going to have that amount of money. Like that's what we got to look at, guys. I don't understand what's wrong with it. I just can't believe why you're opening up my calculator. I have to open up my calculator on my other phone. I think. find it here, guys. Oh, where is it? Okay. Does that mean my phone has been updating? I don't know. Okay, let's, I don't have any app here. Okay, I don't know where it is, but my A20, I haven't used that phone in months, so I don't know where everything is on that phone. So this computer is having a hard time here, so I'm gonna reboot my system. It's just being a real pain on the neck. Give me a moment. I want to give you a total. All these issues that I'm having with the stupid computer. It's not even opening a calculator. That's how bad my computer is. So, anyway, like I said, there's a lot of things going on in jails. The police are so corrupt. Like, why are the police, I guess, sergeant and cops are bringing drugs and material into the jail? Why? Why is that? Can anybody explain what's going on? A criminal asking a cop to bring in drugs into the jail. That's how low these people are in jail. Asking a cop to bring in, because they know they can do it, but they don't realize the consequences. Now the cop's arrested. Now the cop's going to lose his job. Is it worth the risk of taking drugs? No, it's not. Is it worth doing criminal activity? No, it's not. Is it worth stealing cars? No, it's not. Can we teach our children not to steal? Yes, they can. But it all starts in the parents and disciplining the children. That's what we got to understand. Okay? Everybody's got to understand how it comes up. Yeah, my computer is old. So if we had $5 on 20 of them. Okay, I need 20 $5. So if we can get up to 20 $5 ones, that's $100 a day, guys. Okay, now that's $700 a week. So $100 a day, um, 15 days. That's $1,500. Okay, times that by two. That's still 3 grand a month. Okay, so now we gradually build that up. Okay, you get 500. Guess what? We're gonna take that money and reinvest, right? Buy another one, right? Keep investing, guys. Okay. Now every $500, okay, we're upping to another $5. Right? Think about it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. It's built. So now it takes time to process it. So you realize what's happening is we need to get this money flowing. We also need everybody's help. So if you want money regularly, we're gonna build it up so we all. Okay, this is another thing. College student history or your campus address is not the same as your dorm address. Please be aware of your surroundings and important drivers where you actually located. We don't live on you don't of where you actually located. You don't live on your campus. You have no idea where your dining cafeteria or auditorium is in relation to your dorm. This is my perfect example. The customer wanted a delivery to Clark University. The address is in the app, 950 Main Street. They wanted brought to Hughes Hall. Now I have a lot of issues with campuses. So I learned that if you Google dorm, it often gives you an actual location. Hughes Hall is on 25 Shirley Street, which is a solid 2 blocks away from 950 Main Street. I must be tested to verify address because I knew the app was not going to allow me to deliver it to the location. Not giving me an address. Once again, he says Hughes Hall. I respond, so Shirley Street, not Main Street. You have an app. I go to Shirley Street to meet him and inform him which address is accurate. This let him know that he could not find his items to the left 2 blocks away where his pin was located. That's the biggest problem. You're getting deliveries. People don't pay attention when they order. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break here and